Eric and I started up a couple of punk rock bands, garage bands that never made it past the garage. I think our first band, we didn't even have a guitar player. It was just bass, vocals, and drums. And we were called Helpless Conditions. And we had every band had a logo. Back then it had logos, and the logo for ours was the handicap sign with a circle and a line through it. Eric and Scummy started the Juice Bros with Roger and Jason Sharback. I wasn't the first drummer, but their first drummer practices always started like the day after the trash can, because they'd go down the alley and steal the tin trash cans and make drum sets out of them. So we jammed every day for like 5 days, the whole week that he was here in his dad's garage over in Ginevra and Naples, and we wrote, like, where we worked out. Brad had already wrote Date Rape and New Realization, and we just worked him out.
I hooked up with Mark, and we went to a party where the guys were playing on somewhere in the shores. I think it was like right off like Granada. Did the Sublime tape, and it's 4 songs, 2 on each side: Don't Push, Slow Ride, Ball and Chain, Date Rape. That was the first thing we ever put out, Sublime, on Skunk. By that time we made Skunk, right? And then we finally got around to recording 24 track, and we did DJ's Let's Go Get Stoned, new song Bad Fish, and Live at Ease on 24 track. And then we put those songs, the 4 from the prior cassette and the outtake from the first jam, which was Had a Dat, on John Won't Pay the Bills. That's the green tape.
Finally realized, that it wasn't, I couldn't go on anymore, and I was fucking up, so kind of took a little hiatus and went and turned myself into this Christian rehab place.
My sister Ruth plays saxophone, and somewhere along the Long Beach lines, she met up with Brad and Eric, and they played in a band together, and they came to our house when we lived over on 8th Street, and they rehearsed. Bradley came into my room and he saw that I had turntables, and he was just like, what is this, what's going on? And I was DJing and stuff. Now Eric, who's a bass player, Sublime, was playing bass for this group too. And I went to junior high with Eric, and we were in the concert band or the stage band together. And I was playing snare drum, he played bass drum. He's this, big punk rocker dude, and I'm this little, break dancer, popper, and we were just like from 2 different worlds, but we came together in that band class, and we really got along, because I thought he was funny, he thought I was funny, or whatever. But maybe about 4 years later, about 20, 19 or 20, Bradley, I used to go to these parties that they would play at around Long Beach, and sometimes he would ask me to come on and just jam on a few songs with him on the drums. I guess it had to be about 6-7 months after that is when they asked me to join, because they had a problem with their other drummer or what have you. So I was like, yeah. What we did was just backyard parties primarily. That's where I learned the songs, and then we went into the studio when you're supposed to be, performing your songs that these people want to see, or we should be planting these seeds and leaving these people with a good impression of us, not just, bass and drum, like dub style going while this guy's rapping NWA lyrics.
Who's taking the bong hit?
That would be Chris Hauser. Trumpet player extraordinaire. Actually, it's Brad, but we lied. Just Chris was playing a vital role in the creative process of that time. The funniest thing is we didn't have any form of marijuana present. There was just a
echo on the drums.
It doesn't really make much sense, a bone with the songs about John.
Video game, man. It was pretty ingenious just to watch them. You have to also know that we were like in this illegal foundation, So I was like kicking it here, but also I didn't know if the cops were going to come bum rush us and, you know, kick down the door, take all of our equipment. So these sessions would begin every day from like 3 in the afternoon till 5:30 in the morning. And then like I would pack up at like 6 in the morning and then like put all my turntables and stuff in my car and drive off, go surf for a while, and then come back, and it'd be like the same thing over again. I remember on Cisco Kid, I think we had a fucking cat meow or something in there, and I didn't know where that shit was supposed to be. Even on Garbage Grove, man. Somehow some of that shit made sense though, man. Like the intro and the car screeching off and the Babfish drop, the party scene, you know. Some of that shit made sense, but some of it was like, it wasn't supposed to be happening like that. It was all recorded one take only, man. It wasn't any, like, it seemed like the whole record was done in a rush. Like somebody was like chasing Brad to get it done or something, man. But there was nobody, man. It was like, just like in order to get some more funds going, I guess, or something like that, man, at the time. I don't know, man, just seeing.
On our way back, we drove down the California coast down Big Sur, and we took a little bit of mind-altering substances just to make the drive go a little faster. Everyone except, and Michael was driving a big van at the time, and we pulled over to this place called Gloria Pfeiffer Burns, and it was like there's a waterfall coming down hitting the ocean. And so we're sitting there, Michael and Brad are like, they're scaling down this little side wall that one slip, you're in the ocean, like in the ocean, and they were like hanging on by this rope, and everything was kicking in our systems now. Things were seeming a little strange, and Michael and Brad went for it. The dogs wouldn't even go down, and they went down and they crossed over it. Me and Eric said, fuck it, we're going to go all the way around. We went around this one area and we start scaling down the hill. And then Eric's like halfway down the hill, and all of a sudden I'm halfway down there, and he's just like, fuck dude, look, we're in Poison Oak. And we were like in all this Poison Oak, and it's kind of a moment because I didn't react to it, but Eric seemed to have some pretty bad hives off it, plus he was on acid. And then he decided to drink about a 24-pack of beer, and by the time we got back home from Big Sur, Eric was like this big, purple, fucking drunk, crying
remember when he came back.
bastard. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Oh, Eric's dope, man. He's like the master musician of all of them, man.
And there's just a few people who can play that type of bass well. And he's one of those guys that comes naturally for him, where space is as important as how many notes you play, and the space you leave between notes is so important. And this is a guy who can play that style naturally. And that guy's really underrated, but he's one of the best, most creative bass players of our scene.
So I get on the half pipe and boom, up, down, bam! Right in the center of the ramp, man. Busted 2 ribs, cracked them right back here. Fuck, killed me. I was drunk, so I didn't even really notice it. Oh, thanks, John. Hope I didn't bust your bike. And went back, played the gig, and then woke up the next morning and I couldn't even breathe. And I told Kevin, you know, hey, I need to go see a doctor. My ribs are broken. Yeah, whatever. You know, they just didn't believe me. I thought, you know, being a wimp or whatever. So we were on a really tight schedule. It was like every day was a different city. That was another thing too. You know, it was just like kind of hard. You know, hey, go drive this guy over to the hospital real quick. You know, it's like, oh, sure, we'll take the bus.
The first time Bud got busted, we were at, where was that building? Orlando. And they were going to go to some girl's house and shower up and come right back. And I told them, don't go, they got showers here, stay here. No, we're going to be right back. Well, come time for bus call, they're not back. And I'm standing at the gate waiting for them, they never showed up. Bradley comes running up about 10 minutes later, hey, Bud just got arrested. Him and Pat got arrested for open container.
A bike cop sees us, of all people. Starts flying after us on his bike. So we're me and Bud and I think Dan were in the back of the truck. And I hide my beer. Bud, I think, threw it as usual. And the cop pulls us over. He asks us to get out of the back of the truck. So I hop out of the back of the pickup truck, land with my back to the cop. That's considered resisting arrest in Florida. Bud did the same thing on the other side of the truck. Next thing you know, we're facing each other what the hell's going on? Being cuffed. Searching us down, guys are high-fiving each other. we get into jail. It was just like we're just exhausted. It was funny. They put us through the whole deal. Next day though, we woke up and it was just like, this is jail. We had like the morning paper, the games on TV. We had breakfast. We're like sitting back, like, Jason will save our asses. Jason comes, bails out Bud. He's like, don't worry about it. We'll be out in like half an hour tops.
Buzzo, he ain't gonna give me nothing better now. He ain't gonna give me nothing better now, though. I'm fucking fucked up. Or maybe I should go back right now and tell him, look, I'm fucking way fucked up and I can still feel the pain. Give me something better. I don't know. What do you think?
Probably if you're intoxicated and walk in there, he's not going to believe you.
Exactly. Well, hey, whatever. It's like fucking right there. Took a handful, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, put it in a to-go bag, and the cops arrested me. I was sitting in the back of the truck, just drinking a beer. It's like, in LA, what are they gonna do? They're gonna, oh, do you have any guns on you? Okay, free to go. They take me and my buddy Pat. They say, you're resisting arrest. And they search my pocket, they pull out a bag of weed, some Valiums, some Libriums. I was like, look, road rash, man, right here. It was like a lot worse. It was like a week ago. And I cracked some ribs. I didn't get the prescription yet, you know. It's like they wired to me, whatever. Step out of the truck. Hands behind your back. Searching my pockets. Oh, shit. I was all buzzed. Forgot that I had the pills in my pocket. Boom! Pulls the pills out of my pocket. Inside the fucking pill container was my little fucking last bowl of fucking crypto California bud. You know the kind I'm talking about? And I was arrested. Felony possession because my back's jacked up and there was no doctor available because production on the crew of this tour were so lagging. And if you can read my lips, you know what I'm talking about. South Carolina, suck my Yankee dick this time. All you motherfuckers, I didn't say I was from the South of Egypt, did I? Y'all? Yes, know 'ems. Fuck all y'alls. Every time you go to Myrtle Beach, every fine is $304. No matter if it's beating your wife, sleeping on the beach, sleeping in the back of a truck. Or possession of simple possession. You can like beat up a cop. All you're gonna do is pay $304. That's all they want is your fucking money down there. Now you go figure.
We might not be playing tomorrow. Kevin's so fucking hot right now. He wants us to leave. He's thinking about flying us all right now.
It might be better. Fucking hate to say it, but it might be better if we just fucking hook up with them. Maybe see if we can hook up from Seattle down, play the last 3 shows. Fuck it. Let Brad dry out a little bit. Fucking get the invincibility fucking trip off his shoulder. He's all telling me he's kicking me out of the band because I'm hitting him. And he's fucking coming up trying to sucker punch my ass. So you've been kicking me out of the band. Eric wants me to stay. He goes, will I quit? I'm good. Me and Eric are going to finish up this tour. Pussy.
Jason's gonna sing.
Why don't you sing? Why don't you play guitar? He's all calling me a fucking pussy because I want to go home because my ribs are broken and I didn't get no medical attention by that time. You know? And I'm telling him, I told him to fucking go home. I'm fucking hurting. I can't breathe. Oh, you pussy, you pussy.
I'm just gonna take a shower. Blow y'all away. Go get my fucking gun, shoot y'all.
Turn on. Would it be the same without it? The keg's gone, but inside the green roof they were still serving even after the band was done, so I'd say it's pretty much still on.
Without using any names, I was trying to like bust a move on this one chick, and she was being a complete fucking bitch. And she was like being like that one titty dancer that's like, I'm better than everyone. You know, like one of those deals. And finally, she was drinking wine. I was like, hey, you know what? Is it Chablis? And she's like, actually, it's Chardonnay. And I was like, you know, I've been wanting a really good Chardonnay all night long. Can I check that out? I mean, do you mind if I have a sip? And she's like, fine, just don't drink it all. And I was like, cool. And by that time, I had already had my nuts out. And like, you know, everyone in the bar kind of knew that the nuts were out. And they were like, you know, checking everything out. You know, like, oh man, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And finally, she turned around to talk to the guy from DFL, and he knew what was going on too. And he's gonna watch me. And I dunked my nuts and teabagged her fucking situation. And I gave it back. I was like, oh man, fucking amazing. Maybe I'll get a glass. And she was like, whatever.
Like, we're halfway through our meal, and the lady comes up and says, "Is that your motorhome out back?" We're like, "Yeah." "We're towing it."
They threatened to tow our RV where it was parked, and we parked it. It was the only place to park in the area, you know, that we could possibly park without blocking anybody in, or, you know, taking up a fire lane or anything like that.
Just about everybody at the table besides Jason and Dan, I think, you know, went running out to find out if they're going to tow the motorhome.
And so we started arguing a little bit, right? And we get up, and everybody just starts walking out, and they're like, "Screw this place," right?
We leave. Jason's having a dispute with the manager about the bill because, you know, some people turned their food back in because it was disgusting.
Bud is in a frenzy. He's rifling through every drawer in the motorhome looking for something to throw through the front window. He's got about 3-pack of batteries, some hair dye, and who knows what else, and he's running around front, and I'm doing everything I can to control him. Like, "No, Bud, it's cool, it's cool."
Wardo's like, no, Bud. No. I've got a better idea.
"There's something else we can do. Come here."
They walk out, and I don't really know what's going on at this point, right? Because I'm still dealing, you know, haggling with the broad at the counter.
We just bought this RV, and the shitter was full on it, and we put enough blue stuff in there, and every time we'd go around a turn, hit the brakes, the thing would start sloshing around and stink like funk, man.
It's just this awful smelling crude.
They backed the motorhome straight up to the kitchen doors in the back, right?
And it was lined up right with the back door. Back door had the little vents, like about, you know, little low, it was, you know, right off the ground.
Fucking Wardo opened up a little Christmas present on their ass. A little Christmas in July sale.
I take the cap off and I pull the plunger.
Wardo went back and opened the valve on the shitter.
And I mean, I was completely surprised. I mean, that stuff just rifled the back door with some serious force. I mean, it scared me. I closed it real quick. Bud's all, "No, fuck that. Pull that handle." So I pull it again.
Just shot shit, fucking piss, and that blue shit that cleans it out, all into their back door, just fucking...
And we unloaded that whole thing. I mean, there's probably this much shit water just backed up against the back door at Denny's.
30 fucking gallons of fucking shit, piss, puke, and blue shit. It's fucking beautiful, man. Those fuckers. Fuck you, Denny's.
You know, I come walking out, and you know, I'm taking the longest, obviously, because I gotta pay. And, you know, Bud comes up to me kind of like whistling Dixie almost. He's all happy, and I'm like, you know, uh-oh. What just happened? I don't know what just happened, man. Bud's happy, there's something wrong. You know what I mean? Especially in a situation like this.
I think that's probably the first time Bud has ever gone anywhere and told Jason not to worry about it. Just pay the bill, let's go.
Yeah, Wardo. There's another Wardo thing. Wardo's cool. He helps us out a lot.
We got the hell out of there. I'm still laughing about it. I bet you, if you went to that Denny's in Portland, there's probably stains on that back door. It was pretty great. They gave us shitty service. We gave them some shit back. So we're driving along, and Wesley says, "Excuse me, sir. I got to go to the bathroom." So I pull up next to Michael driving the other van, and I'm like, "Hey, you know, Wes has got to go to the bathroom." So Michael drops in behind us and starts following me, and I'm looking for a restroom, you know, because I know he's got to take a dump.
He did what was necessary and got off, or tried to get off, and when he got off the off-ramp, there was extreme traffic, so all he did was get off the ramp.
Michael gets frustrated, like just pulls around in front of me and pulls off right on the side of these, like on a crossroads, 2 highways crossing.
So we're in a long line of cars going around, and everyone can see everything that's going on, so no one's moving. Wesley jumps out of the van.
Wesley goes flying out of the van, just standing in the middle of nowhere, drops his shorts and just lets like 10 glasses of orange juice go.
and just spews diarrhea all over the off-ramp.
Anyway, all at the same time this is all happening, I can just see the van in front of me just rocking. The guys in the van are laughing so hard the whole van is literally moving. And I like turn my head away from Wes and kind of look back off to the other side, and I can look in the rearview mirror, and here comes this lady driving down the road, and she's just got this look of terror on her face. A 300-pound black man blowing mud on the side of the highway. It's I know, it was pretty insane. He was like standing there looking around for something to wipe his ass with, and he doesn't have anything. He reaches up into his little pouch and he pulls out like a backstage pass from 2 nights ago and does his duty and throws it down on the ground and kind of just walks off. He comes back over to the van and he says, "I'm sorry, sir. I drank too much goddamn orange juice."
Defecation bubbles.
I had defecation bubbles, goddammit.
It was like right around the end of 1988. Me and Trey got together and we were doing Falling Idols songs, and we needed to get a singer because Dave was doing the Vandals.
Oh yeah. That wasn't Falling Idols, though. That was a different project because we still had Falling Idols occasionally going with just the 4 of us, and then we were doing something with him, and because we had a different drummer too by then, Greg Odell, and then he and Greg Lowther, the old drummer,
and Scummy
were playing, and then me. So Falling Idols wasn't doing anything, so we called it the Ross Fletcher Pangborn Project.
We needed a singer, and Brad, I thought Brad was a really good singer, and he knew all the songs, so I thought he would be the best one for it. So I wanted him to do it, but he was already doing Sublime, but we did a couple practices, and he came out and sang.
He was a great singer. I think that was his best form of expression through music, whether it be, guitar, organ, whatever. I think his voice was his best expression of his true emotions and feelings, because when he sings, it could be no music, he could just be singing and you would feel it,
I liked his acoustic shit, man. I thought that was pretty soulful, man. I remember one night we were kicking in Mexico, and I think Brad sang his heart out, man, from at least 2 in the morning till 7 in the morning.
The real trick, I think that they liked, and kind of the challenge when working with them was capturing stuff on tape when it was happening. It was, wasn't a 9 to 5 kind of thing.
When he was singing Summertime, his dog was standing up on him, and he was making up lyrics as he went along, like playing with his dog and singing at the same time. Although we used a lot of those lyrics.
The first thing that really clued me in that this was above normal in terms of something that you hear that you work on that's good was when Marshall brought up the track to Do in Time. This was something on an order I wasn't expecting from Sublime, and at the time I remember thinking, I don't think anybody's going to expect something quite like this from a band like Sublime.
So how did the song come about, you say? I don't know, we were just writing, and I given Brad a tape of all the tracks, that I had done, and he did some stuff over a few of them, and this one just came out the best.
I always wanted to ask Marshall a question myself, is how you got the idea to put this track together. I thought this is one of the first things when this came in when I was working on this with you guys. Really impressed me, just the whole conception of the song. I was always curious how you came up with the idea for the track.
Just doing what I guess producers of my era or like the hip hop era do, is just dig through the crates and just listen to different records, and I just put that one on. I was always a fan of Herbie Mann. I knew he had flavor, so I just played this one album, heard the sample. I wasn't even aware that it was a Gershwin song all popular like that. I didn't even know.
That's wild, yeah.
I told you that? Because I just like the bass line and the way the vibes moved, and just did it. I didn't know we were going to get into all the drama we got into over clearing this song. It was wild. But
it almost didn't, you had a lot of trouble with it, right?
Yeah, almost didn't make it. Yeah. These drums are from an album called Cold Blood Thriller. It was originally done by Bill Withers. But Cold Blood Thriller did it over again, and I just took the drums, chopped them up. Bass drum, hi-hat, everything's on different tracks. And then of course the main sample, which number 6. Yeah, that's good. We could just let it roll from there.
Paul was a wonderful producer to work with. I mean, he was just like, you know, the other producers that we worked with, they always had like their idea of what the song should sound like, and Paul was just like, you know, hey, do that again. That sounded great. You know, you want to add anything else? You know, just like letting us do what we wanted to do, and then he just, you know, he'd put it down on tape as good as he could, and it sounded brilliant.
So I got a phone call from somebody, and it was just an instant yes. And that song, I know the band got really sick of it, but it was a good song. You know, the guitar work on there just freaks me out. So we had that week of pre-production to suss it out. When I show up in Long Beach, first day I'm there, I can't get a hold of them, you know, and expecting to show up at the practice space and listen to them play songs and talk about arrangement and all that crap. And second day, couldn't get a hold of them. Third day, we got together for breakfast and we all got drunk and passed out. Fourth day, they all disappeared to Mexico except for Brad. Got a tattoo and came home, and that was pre-production.
Good tattoo though, right?
Yeah, Opie.
I told him like he had to be punk and get a big tattoo, and I never thought he would do it, but he finally did. I was gonna do Sublime across his stomach, but he was so fat at the time I didn't even want to deal with it because he had all this side package weight. So I just said, let's do it on your back.
It's just chaos because it is some stream of consciousness. They don't really think too much in advance, or once they've done stuff, what, you know, in post view either. They just kind of go. They just kind of went, and whatever happened was how it works. I mean, you know, the great story of, you know, taking a dog into like Denny's and wondering why people are upset.
The dog's eating food off of everyone's table in the restaurant.
Going around begging food in a Denny's, and
not begging, just taking.
Yeah. Actually, those first couple days was a collection because the very first day they rented Freddie's Suburban.
Yeah, the Freddie loaned him the Suburban, and they
fender bender, but a wreck.
Bit the bumper on it.
Then the second day was when we got the complaint about the dog in the condo.
Then the dogs scratched up one of the doors in the studio.
Then the third day was when the fire broke out. And those were like the first 3 days we had.
Mike Capel, man, he was always like Brad's second pair of ears, man. You know, I mean, you got to trust what Mike's got going on the board. His recording skills were always cool, man. He always made a perfect mix, and I think any record he produces, man, is always going to turn to gold, if not like platinum, man.
Yeah, pretty girls. Yeah, one more shot. One more shot. Maybe go do some big metal.
Tell everyone, suck ass. If you don't get your way, bitch and complain. And if you get money in this world because you're lucky, invest it in large Samoan fucking V13 members. So when shit goes down, the people start fronting. They drop off the fucking face of the earth for like low dollar, and the shit just rolls. That's Michael from Skunks Advice to Youth of America. He's also smoking.
They were playing the chili cook-off down in Long Beach, and Bud had eaten a bunch of chili and done a bunch of shots of tequila and stuff. Did you know about this? Where he was playing the drums and playing his drums and just in his own little world, and they had blood. He just threw up everywhere. Never missed a beat though. He just kept on playing. It's so Bud. You know? Oh God. You know, and this was really more before Bud went to his rehab, when they did 40 ounces right in the middle of that, or just right when that was starting. He was drinking way too much, and I'd get these phone calls 3 o'clock in the morning that he was in jail, he needed somebody to bail him out, you know, and it was just every time the phone rang, it was just like, oh, it's Bud, you know. And so after, when they were on the road one of the times years later, the phone rang at 3 o'clock or so in the morning, and I'm like, oh no, I haven't had one of these phone calls in so many years, and I knew it had to be Bud. I pick up the phone and he goes, hey Mom. It's like, oh shit, what? And he goes, I'm just calling to tell you I'm not in jail. Oh, thanks, honey.
You know, everyone has that thought of like, oh, maybe I could have done something. But the thing is everyone had already worn out that. I mean, everyone had done as much as they could to do their best to help him, and
you know, I mean, you lose family, they're old, and you expect that from them, but someone is talented and had so much going for him, and just everything right there is...
I feel so bad for Eric and Bud and Michael and Troy and Jacob and Jim and, you know, the whole family, man. It was just like, fuck, dude. At first I was kind of angry at him, dude, but who am I to be angry at him, dude, you know?
Yeah.
I just felt so sorry, though, and so sad.
Where's your toothbrush?
Right there, right
Which one?
there.
Grab it.
It's right there.
Right there? Is that a blue toothbrush?
Yeah.
You want to show Josh how you brush your teeth? Yeah.
The Long Beach Dub All-Stars is, you know, we got together to play it at the benefit show for Jake. And we did one show before the benefit show, which was at the Galaxy Theater. And, you know, that went over good. So we played the benefit show. That went over good as well. And then people just started calling and saying, you know, when are you playing again?
Eric and Bud just like asked us, you know, and they said, you know, if you're a friend to us and a friend to Brad, then you'll help us carry this torch and keep things going.
Brad always said that he liked Opie's voice.
Back in the day, I would always mess around and DJ, whatever, you know, rap and shit. And they just came up one day and they said, well, you gotta sing now.
Here's the mic.
Here's the mic. And I was just like, what? Crazy.
So he drank a fifth of whiskey.
So I drank about a case of Heineken and then started singing.
rap.
We're just fucking playing with the artists that we've always listened to, like, you know, Mad Lion, Orange Americans, fucking Welling Souls, and HR, and Puff and Stuff, and all fucking everybody, you know?
KRS-One. Hopefully we can get on stage with that fella. I personally have been talking with Son Doobie from Funk Dubious, Everlast from House of Pain, Lords of Brooklyn. You know, I want to share the stage with those fellas as well, you know, and wreck some spots, because I think the Dub All-Stars is kind of like a channel, you know. We have our own style of music and we perform what we perform, but we can also cater, you know. We can also be the backing band for whoever needs a backing band. You know, if you want that flavor that we have, that kind of reggae flavor, that dub flavor, if you can go over that with a band for you, you know. So those are just to name a few. You know, I'm sure there's more prospective people. We were trying to get hold of Barrington Levy.
There's a bunch of Skunk Records bands out there that are super active. The Long Beach Dub All-Stars, which basically, there's Bud and Eric and several other friends who equate to mass hysteria and a really good sound. There's bands like Filibuster from Sacramento. They're a sick act, and I think people out there are going to hear about them real soon. They're Slightly Stupid, these three guys from San Diego who, I know Miles, the front man for that band, had a strong relationship with Bradley. Oh God, we got this act, I don't know where they even came up with it. It's called Corn Doggy Dog and the Half Pound, and they're just an absolute debacle. I don't know how it exists. I don't know how they even get shows. I can't believe we've got the Ziggins are an absolute sweet act of comedy and great music. I haven't seen a band, not in my lifetime, that can blend not only musical talent but a great stage show with almost a a comic aspect to how they do it. Their lyrics are super clean, unlike any other skunk band. All the skunk bands use the triple X type of words on a regular basis, but the Ziggins have got this wholesome sound, almost like they're straight out of the heartland of Wisconsin or something. But they're from Huntington Beach, and they're a sweet band. Bert, if you heard this was, I can't believe I forgot you, Bert. Dickie, John, Brad. Yeah, anybody else playing that band now?
Friends of Jesus.
Friends of Jesus has no future. That's the only thing I will say about Friends of Jesus. And it's funny because I really mean it. I think other bands amongst those labels that have strong futures, Ziggins, Filibuster, and Slightly Stupid, in some sick way, Corn Dog might make it on the Spice Channel for videos, but the Friends of Jesus, I'm absolutely convinced that they have no future. They're absolutely terrible. I don't see how they can even put anything on recording. It's just fucking awful.
And it's like cool